And as you can see, when I touch pass it and bring it to the bottom of that circle, it's going to be a great back shoulder throw where Chase could come back to the ball, and this defender in man coverage is going to continue to drift, and they're not going to be able to cut back in time and stop that pass. Hey, welcome back to XP Camps. We educate the next generation of athletes about sports through gaming. If you've been following this channel for the past couple of months, you may have noticed that I've been taking lessons from our courses and posting them for free on YouTube so you can start understanding how our programs work. How these videos are going to work is I'm going to show you a concept, break down the concept so you understand how it works in real life, and then I'm going to show you how I set this concept up in Madden so that you can practice from home. If you like this style of content, make sure you leave a like and a follow, as the support on this channel would help us out a ton in furthering our mission to educate the next generation of athletes through gaming. And if you could drop a comment below of what concepts you want me to cover next, I'll be happy to do it. I'm going to be posting 2 to 3 times a week from now all the way through the Super Bowl, so make sure you leave your comments and let me know what you want to see or what we can be doing differently in order to make this the most valuable content for you possible. But I appreciate you clicking on the video, so let's jump into it. In this section, I'm going to show you how to throw a back shoulder throw in Madden. So a back shoulder throw is when you're throwing the ball a bit behind the receiver and you're hoping the receiver stops and comes back to the football, and you're hoping that the defender's momentum continues to carry them forward so that you could throw the receiver open and create some separation. Now you'll most likely see or use a back shoulder throw when you're on the goal line throwing a fade to your receiver and the defender is on that receiver's hip and you're trying to throw it behind the receiver. They can stop and come back, and the defender continues to move forward because their momentum is taking them that way. So I have a good example of it to show you here. I'll show you what it looks like in replay mode, and then I'll jump into practice mode to show you how I set up this back shoulder throw. I have Jamar Chase set up in the slot with number 20 manned up over the top of him, and I have Jamar Chase running this fade route, and we're gonna let this ball go. And the first thing that I'll highlight is when you're throwing this throw, you're gonna kind of want to throw it at the receiver instead of pass leading them like you would on a traditional throw. So if you remember from our slant flat video, we threw it into an open area anticipating that the receiver was going to run into that area and catch the football. Here, if we throw it and pass lead Jamar Chase, so let's say closer to the 12 or 10 yard line, number 20 is out in front of Jamar Chase. So if we were to pass lead Chase, number 20 would be able to either break it up or potentially get an interception. So what we do with this throw is we're trying to aim for Jamar Chase's right shoulder or his back shoulder, as you can see here. So instead of throwing it to his left shoulder and trying to pass lead him away from the defender, we're going to throw it at his right shoulder and hope that he stops his momentum and catches this on his back shoulder. And as you can see here, number 20's momentum continues to carry him forward, and Jamar Chase stops, and that's where you start creating that separation on the back shoulder throw. The number 20 knocks him out of bounds. But that's how you would want to throw this, is aiming right at Jamar Chase's right shoulder and hoping that he stops his momentum and catches the football, rather than throwing it to his left shoulder and pass leading him up the field where number 20 can knock that ball out. But let's jump into practice mode and see how I set this throw up. Alright, so I'm here in practice mode. Now how you're going to want to set this up is I'm in trips tight end out of the New York Jets playbook, and I'm running shock H option. Now as you can see, I have Jamar Chase on this fade route out in the slot, and I'm running this against man. I put on cover 1 press so you can see how this looks. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do a touch pass, and you're also going to want to, oh perfect, first try right there. So you're going to want to do a touch pass, and then you're going to want to free form the ball to the bottom part of that circle when it pops up when you're doing a free form pass. And as you can see, when I touch pass it and bring it to the bottom of that circle, it's going to be a great back shoulder throw where Chase could come back to the ball, and this defender in man coverage is going to continue to drift, and they're not going to be able to cut back in time and stop that pass. I'm even in all Madden here, and it's still almost a guaranteed pass. We didn't get the same animation there, and maybe it was because it was a bit of a bullet pass instead of a touch pass. But play around with this a little bit. See, that one I pass led a little bit too much, and that's a perfect example of what happens when you pass lead on that route instead of throwing a back shoulder throw. And then right here we touch pass, and you're just going to get that back shoulder animation all day long. So I would recommend that you go into practice mode and you test this out, and if if you're going to be practicing this in real life, continue just practicing reps. The best way to get better at a back shoulder throw is to just do a lot of repetitions with your wide receivers so you guys can start getting the timing down, start getting the feeling for how far you throw it behind your receiver versus pass leading them like you would on a traditional throw, and you should be able to have a pretty solid play that you could start running on the goal line when you're playing in real life.
Looking to get a better understanding of football so you can be more effective on the field? Check out xpcamps.com, where for just $4.99, we can make you better, smarter, and a safer player, guaranteed.